good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, people on YouTube. And welcome back to William in Japan. Today you join me on a very warm late June day on the Ducati Supersport 950S. So, as you can see in the title, some major updates. Good news and bad news though. First, the bad news. We will be saying goodbye to this beautiful bike in the near future. Sadly to say, I do not want to let her go. But for those who are new to the channel, I used to own two bikes. One is a very nimble, very commuting friendly CB250R, which is the Japanese domestic version for the CB300R that most markets will get. I sold that CB back, I think, 4 months ago? No, 3 months ago, when I moved and my new garage just couldn't fit a car and two bikes. Back at my old apartment, since as you can understand, it's an apartment, we have lots of space. And you can rent out motorcycle spaces as long as they are available. But now I moved to the house, and very unfortunately I live in one of the most crowded cities in the world, Tokyo. And houses here are not big, and they are expensive. So I sold the CB, tried commuting on my Ducati. It worked out pretty fine for a while, until it started to get warm. We are at 30 degrees air temperature today, even on a highway doing 90. She's already cooking my ankles, and if she drops down to 80, or even worse, is stop and go traffic during my morning commutes, it hurts, guys. My thighs and my shin really sometimes hurt. You can get around it, of course, with proper riding jeans, riding boots. But when I'm on the commute or grabbing groceries, dashing in and out, it's really hard for me to justify putting on all my gear. And when I'm not at the office, I look like a dork. So, in the end, I decided I should start bike hunting, and hence the series of test rides, rental bikes that was on this channel for the past few months. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I posted a video saying we're back to square one because I actually canceled my Monster SP. That was what I thought. Back then, I think, okay, we're just going to have to live with the Supersport and see if there will be any new bikes announced in the autumn or at EICMA this year. But the very next day, I was bored, weather was bad, went to a dealer, the one we are actually heading towards right now, saw a bike that I could not resist. Not the most beautiful, definitely not as beautiful as this baby, but it makes sense, guys. It can commute, it can carve up canyons, and it is somewhat comfortable and acceptable. So we are heading to that dealer right now. I already paid up front, and we are going to discuss some final details on when I can get the bike plated and the accessories all bolted on. The Super Sport, on the other hand, as I mentioned, I'm really sad to let it go. It is such a great bike. It just doesn't suit my riding, my life at this moment. A lot of people know Tokyo has one of the best train systems in the world. It is punctual, it is very complex, and it gets you anywhere. That is true. But I bet some of you guys has always also seen those videos. People getting squashed into trains. Extremely packed and uncomfortable. Well, that is basically what I have to deal with every single day when I commute on the train. My office, very unfortunately... One moment. Okay. Very unfortunately, is right inside downtown Tokyo. So from my house to the office, it's a very easy commute of 40 minutes on train, door to door. Doesn't sound bad, right? But both of the trains that I need to take, so I take one, transfer to another to get to my office, both of them are infamously packed. And really, guys, a lot of people see those packed videos and say, why don't you just take the next train? Because the next train is always the same. It's always packed. We squash over 30 million people into the metropolitan area every single day. And unfortunately, Japanese culture, cars and bikes are not considered as a legitimate way to commute. So most companies ban it. My company as well does not support motorcycle commuting. I just do it out of my own risk. So my company insurance does not cover anything if I get hurt while I'm commuting and I can't get to work. I lose all my salary, so that's on me. And most Japanese, of course, can't afford the parking. The parking fee here in Tokyo is ridiculous in my opinion. And also most people cannot afford the highway toll. Yes, highways in Japan are not free, and they are extremely expensive as well. A 30-minute ride like I am doing right now, one way, is around $10 to $15. And the more you ride, of course, the worse it gets. So I am paying out of my own pocket for the gasoline, maintenance of the motorcycle. I'm paying out of my own pocket for the tolls of the highway. And I still have to take the risks of getting hurt while I'm riding. So as you can see, most Japanese will not do that. And that's why everybody's packed on the train. Stuck on the train, if I may. And we're basically canned human meat when we're commuting. So I said no to that quite some time ago, before even COVID hit. And I have been commuting ever since. And back where I was, oh, that was a huge tangent. The Ducati worked really well at first, when the temperature is cool and everything is pleasant. And now when things are already heading into the 30s, 30 degrees, and in the summer it'll hit 35 to 36, I am not confident that I can still commute on this bike at all. So we are going to say goodbye to her very, very soon. Look at that. Tokyo Bay and the dock facilities of Yokohama. Tons of trades come through that every single day. So we're 5 minutes out from my dealer. Let's keep it a little surprise for you guys of what bike I got. Guess it's down below. Feel free to comment. But as we reach the dealer, you'll get a huge hint, since you will know the brand. And of course, I already said, it's not the most beautiful bike in the world. It's somewhat comfortable and it's very good for commuting. So for those, I think you can basically get the correct bike, which I actually got. It may still take around 2 to 3 weeks to get it plated and all of the accessories from the brand to come in and the dealer can put it all on. But I'll definitely give you guys an update, a review, once the bike reaches me. This will also mark a new chapter of this channel. This channel was completely built around the Ducati Supersport, riding it around Japan's back roads, togeis, which in English means mountain passes. In the future will definitely be a new bike, a new protagonist, but serving the complete same role in the channel. We will still review new gear, we will still explore new roads, and hopefully I can continue to provide you guys some idea of how it is like to ride in Japan. The etiquette here, the rules, the non-written rules. And since COVID has officially ended, at least in my book, I bet a lot of people will be coming into Japan and ride for a tour very, very soon. I already meet 2 really nice chaps from the States at my Ducati dealer a few weeks ago. They rented out Multistrada and a Street Fighter, and off they go, touring Japan. So hopefully in the near future I can see even more friendly people exploring the great roads of Japan. Okay guys, we're almost there. Almost there. Hang on with me just a little more. Alright, we're back to the stop though. And as I mentioned, the bike's already cooking my thighs. It's not unbearable yet. As you can see, since we were over 80 kilometers an hour on the highway, the engine temperature was around 84 degrees. But less than a minute is now 86, 87. And soon that'll be 100. And trust me, when it gets to 100, it is hot. It will cook you. So, oh, it's really a Ducati thing, isn't it? Always wear proper gear, especially the pants part, and you can definitely deal with it. I had deal with it with the past 2 years on this bike. 12,000 kilometers I can see, but when I can't get all the gear, it definitely raises its ugly head. So guys, we are here. Triumph Yokohama Shinyamashita. My new bike is in there. They are already taking care of it. So we will see what we got in the near future. This has been William. Thanks for joining me, and see you next time. Bye bye.